We begin in the U.S., where tensions are high at many university campuses as groups of students protest against Israel's war on Hamas, with instances of heated confrontations and arrests.
Don't touch them! Don't touch them! Don't touch them!
This was the scene earlier today at the University of Southern California in Los Angeles. There were clashes between pro-Palestinian protesters and police, with police pushing back some protesters, one of whom then fell to the ground. And at one point, demonstrators surrounded a vehicle where someone had been detained. They chanted, "Let him go," and eventually that's what the police did. For more on this, we're joined live by journalist Steve Futterman. He's on the scene at USC in Los Angeles. Steve, that was earlier in the day. It was quite the scene.
Yes.
Talk us through what things are like right now.
Well, things have calmed down a great deal, Deanna. You know, these protests at various campuses, primarily triggered by the protests at Columbia University, and today it finally hit here in LA at the University of Southern California. Behind me, the protest goes on. Around 200-300 students right now. They're chanting, they're giving speeches, they're waving Palestinian flags, but it's really calmed down. The tensions we saw earlier today have really been greatly reduced. Police are nearby, but you really don't see them visible right now, but they are here, not far away, just in case something happens and they have to move in. We spoke to one student around an hour ago. She's a 21-year-old junior here. She's actually a Jewish student. She's with a group called Jewish Students for Peace.
Most fundamentally, we want to say that we are here in solidarity with the people of Gaza, with the people of Palestine, as they continue to endure a genocide committed at the hands of the Israeli apartheid regime, and backed by Western powers, U.S. powers, and international institutions, military manufacturers, who USC has direct financial and academic interests and ties with.
So that's one of the basic demands right now. They want SC, and these are the similar demands at other schools. They want these schools to divest any economic or any academic connections they have with Israel right now. And again, not sure how long this protest will go on, but again, we should point out it was tense earlier. Police did move in, and they are still not far away. But right now, it's a very, very peaceful protest.
Steve, that student you were interviewing, I noticed they were wearing a mask, something that many young protesters have been wearing because they don't want to be identified. There's still a concern about academic repercussions to them or other repercussions. So things are still really tense. Is there concern that things will get out of hand at the USC protest?
Well, this is always a concern, and she did not want to give us even her first name. The students want to remain anonymous, especially with reporters right now. I guess you can understand that. As far as how this comes to an end, that's the big concern. Right now, the USC administrators have said what's taking place here right now with some tents being set up, that's against university policy, but there's no deadline that's been set up. I would not be surprised if some talks are going on. The school would like this to come to an end, a peaceful end, but right now, that's the big question. How will this come to an end? That's the same situation they're facing at Columbia. The students are very, very much enthused and invigorated, and they want to make their case very clear to everyone who comes here, the media. They want the media attention. So again, the big concern is, how will this come to an end, and will there be some confrontations when that end finally does come?
Yeah, Steve, some people who remember the 1960s are saying that this spree of student protests remind them of the student protests of the 1960s.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I'm old enough to remember those, and they do remind me of it a great deal.
Thank you so much, Steve. Really appreciate that. Steve
Thanks,
Futterman
Deanna.
at USC in Los Angeles.